the Warlock then gets to that breakpoint where they can play the Bloodshard Bristlebacks for activation and get the Baron Scavengers for cheap, and that there's a point of no return for the Hunter after that.
Exactly. We'll have to see how it works out though, with GivePLZ having a very nice looking hand. It's a matchup that I think started to feel pretty good for the Warlock when they transitioned over to the version without a Netheron, with the Runed Mithril Rod and the Pantharas. But with the nerf to Rod, and of course the nerf to Quest as well by that measure, Tiz and GivePLZ both, as I assume they might be practicing. A lot of their decks look very similar this week. Have gone with the Netheron build with a Spice Bread Baker in there as well. And hey, I mean, if you can draw a hand like this, you're still going to be in a pretty good spot no matter what version of the deck you're going for.
Oh yeah, I would snap keep the touch of the Nathrism and at least one tour guide. I think GivePLZ is thinking about whether he wants both, right? Because at the moment the curve kind of looks like Quest into coin tour guide and tap. And so you could keep the other one and just say, I'm probably going to have a touch target by then. And you just have the 2/1/1 supporting your tap game plan and being annoying on board. But GivePLZ says they're not good enough. I'm really surprised to see both of them toss away.
Yeah, me too. Like, you can argue that it is for the higher chance of finding Soul Rend, which absolutely is a premium card to find in the matchup, but it kind of helps you get there because you're more likely to be able to tap in these early turns, whereas 2 mana on turns 2, 3, and 4 is a very heavy expenditure against such an aggressive deck.
Yeah, it's tough to get the hard statistics on that because you're replacing those 2 cards in the beginning, but I kind of look at it as you are not ever going to be playing Soul Rend in those early turns, but you can be playing Tour Guide in the early turns, which gives you board presence, and also you get the taps. So it feels like if you are going to find Soul Rend, that's the best way to go about it. But going back to Alutemu over here with the tracking, which has also been a re-inclusion in these Hunter lists, has an choice between those 3 options because the Cult Neophyte provides maximum disruption, a spell not needed because he's already buffed the initiates, but he's actually going for Og Merchant here, which is also in a way playing around Soul Rend / other removal options.
Such an interesting juncture that you end up so often in this matchup where you can still tap here. It's tempting. If there was no disruption in your opponent's deck, I'd say it was just better because you have to focus on your own game plan here. But what if they play Neophyte? What if they play Org Merchant? There's so many ways that delaying the double touch of the Nathrism can go wrong. So I would be kind of tempted just to let rip, even though you're wasting 5 healing there. But in the end, he's taking a middle approach where he's not going for the instant removal, but does at least get some amount of board presence in, so he can start trading with this 3/2.
Yeah, I think it's definitely reasonable for GivePLZ. I don't think he's looking to disrupt any particular spells Alutemu would want to play this turn. I guess it makes just Aim Shot to deal with Neophyte not possible. Quick Shot still possible. But the main thing is he's trying to not waste healing while still using this Neophyte as a removal of its own, because you can look at it as a less efficient Drain Soul in some ways, where it does end up removing a minion for Alutemu here. So I think job accomplished for GivePLZ there, because he still retains these removal spells in hand while making sure the Neophyte got value where it could.
So GivePLZ is starting to lean towards that way I was talking about, where you greed your removal spells a little bit. You would rather prioritize taps, which I can understand. You know, this hand is very low value at the moment, and it could theoretically just get outvalued in the immediacy. If your opponent just plays a Rhino or a Wrangler, you can actually struggle to have enough removal for all of that. And so even though he's leaving himself a little vulnerable to disruption, I think at this point the slow approach from GivePLZ is working out very well for him.
Yeah, I think he is greeting this out to the last possible turn though, because once turn 5 rolls around, your opponent might start playing minions that don't just die to touch, like the Rhino, for example. So GivePLZ is taking this last opportunity to draw and then use the touches. And then if you can isolate the Rhino on board, that is definitely ideal for the handlock. With the Drain Soul, he does have access to clearing 6 damage off the board, but he won't actually get healing from all of the spells. Another tap. He's brave, man.
Yeah, very, very brave way to play it. Especially as pre-nerf, he would have well, gained the health back at this point, right? Or next turn at least, actually. Whereas now it's another 2 whole taps before he's able to gain back that health, with the quest being 8 out of 8 damage needing to be done. And so, are we going Drain Soul on the 2-2? The problem is that if your opponent just like plays Rhino or Barrack Kodobane, you need the Drain Soul and the touch to be able to deal with it.
Yep, that's why I'm kind of leaning towards, if you are playing Drain Soul, just touch something else and then try to buy yourself a turn where you play minions instead of immediately removing the Rhino. I don't know if that ever gets there, but GivePLZ is committing to mana efficiency here. The Divine Shield on the Initiate that Alutemu deliberately took is doing major work here, and this Kodobane off the top is insane.
Unbelievable. Both got quick shot and aim shot left in the deck. It is premium at this juncture because burn spells is all he wants. Honestly, if Alutemu could, he may just like rather delete all the minions from the board so there's nothing to go off of.
True. As it stands, GivePLZ can closer to quest progression, but he's still miles away from that 10 card in deck breakpoint. He does hit the Unstable Shadow Blast, so he can at least remove a couple damage from the board, but I think he is still dead. Yes, just aim shot hero power represents 7 plus the 4 on board. GivePLZ throws it down.
Damn, what a weird game. Alutemu just playing cards. I mean, I think he did it well. You know, the real big choice is being to trade away the non-Divine Shield Initiate rather than to trade in the Divine Shield and have more minions on board. Of course, meant less power on board, but more resilient power because Divine Shield is so annoying. And that one decision just led to GivePLZ being so greedy with his removal. Divine Shield, of course, means that you don't heal off Drain Soul or the touch that Anathras him, and it just meant that he got to attack phase every turn until he won the game.
Yeah, I mean, we could have seen like Drain Soul and then touch, so you heal 4 but don't get the Lifesteal 3, which obviously I think was still not going to be enough for GivePLZ because if you have to spend 2 removal spells into 1 minion, the other minions are just going to go face and keep going face. That might be why we're seeing players like Alan include 1 copy of School Spirits in their deck to try and deal with that shape of board, which is not actually that easy for Warlock to deal with these days. But for Alutemu, just the Flame Imps, the Intrepid Initiates getting major work done there, and they will face up against the Garrote Rogue now. Unfortunately, no longer a possibility to see the Handlock versus Control Warrior. Too bad. This is LHS Handlock out of the way. But this matchup is also very interesting. It can be close. Alutemu with the Initiate already locked up once again, and GivePLZ tossing everything. I agree. I don't like keeping Shroud in this matchup.
Yeah, probably a little slow, isn't it? Especially when you're on the coin and you'd rather just go like coin Octobot. You don't really need the extra juice to make a field contact work either. So I'm on board. And let's see how these starting turns work. Just tempo Ethel Org Merchant right out the gate. That's on board. That's better than nothing.
Yeah, I agree. It also just puts the Initiate within dagger range, right? If Alutemu does have something like the Adorable Infestation, which is the scariest thing on Initiate, you can still just trade your 2-1 into that. So I think it's the best way for GivePLZ to be proactive in this situation. Coining the Neophyte does not work with the curve that he had in the opening hand. We do see he has the Foxy Fraud now, but Neophyte off the top for Alutemu is very annoying for GivePLZ. I was thinking this would be a passage turn for him. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's annoying all round. Like you say, he has plays he can make. With Wand Thief, we're looking for none of these. It was like Shooting Star and Combustion, maybe an Ice Barrier. These are all just too slow because Alutemu in hand has everything he needs to win the game. Warsong Wrangler, double Rhino, Barrack as well off the top. This is looking very dire for GivePLZ.
I often say that the only way Hunter can beat an Octobot start from Rogue is Rhino with Weapon. But GivePLZ hasn't even had Octobot, and Alutemu has 2 Rhinos plus Weapon. This is... Oh my god, I don't think GivePLZ has a way out here realistically. Gonna get rid of the Neophyte also here, using the Weapon and the Vulpertinger, which hit the board first. Very nicely done to get that extra damage. There's an Octobot, but no Prox-a-lot yet.
Indeed, that particular Knight of the Round Table will have to wait before we see it. Yeah, Swindle. If you can get, I don't know, Shadow Step to bounce back an Octobot, you could go Octobot Step on this turn, so you have a 0 mana Octobot is something at least, and then you can go 2 mana Contact next turn and try and draw a million.
Yeah, the thing is his original hand doesn't have a procker, if I recall, so I was going to say probably just pray that you get a procker off the top, because you need a big high roll from this situation, knowing that this War Song Wrangler is just going to put down a Rhino. But GivePLZ is just going for the full clear, which is fair. He steps the procker itself instead. That actually makes a lot of sense, right? That is what he was lacking. This is just better.
However, mana, even with 2 Octobots in hand, is incredibly tight here. He can go Octobot proc it, and then you can even proc the second Octobot again and then go with a 1 mana Contact if he wants to. But there's no fuel at that point. He's only got Foxy Fraud, which would need to be Swindle or Wand Thief or maybe Prize Plunderer exactly off the top.
I think you probably go with a 1 Octo into Field Contact play, because you are still able to play Foxy with Field Contact for that, and then you can get the Prize Plunderer off the top. Ideally, you end up with the other Shadow Step to then step the Octobot and play what will then be a 1-cost Guardian Og Merchant. But in short, I'm thinking big here. He needs a miracle, and I think he needs to start with Octo Ethel right now. Yep, there it is. Field Contact Foxy is what I would do here.
I mean, I guess you could go Field Contact, Octo, Orc Merchant, the Octobot, and then Foxy Fraud. But it looks like he might be doing nothing at all here, just setting up for 1 massive draw turn next turn. Honestly, to win the game, if he doesn't get the win next turn, I think it's just over.
But is he just dead here? Wait, 6 plus 5? Oh, he's alive at 1? Oh, wait, with the Adorable? Wait a second. He can still Adorable.
Infestation. Yeah, it's just lethal, right?
Yeah, I think Alutemu was sending the other things face first. It's fine. He didn't get max damage, but it's still lethal. No matter what he buffs here, I think, right?
7 plus 6. Yes, correct. It is still just lethal. Okay. There we go.
I think GivePLZ was playing around just Rhino lethal, which my bad.
The order, right?
The order, so it wasn't lethal. Okay.
Our bad. Well, here it is then. 1 final turn.
That's an upgrade. Probably.
He needs the other Ethel, and then just Garrote and go.
Yeah, I mean, if you draw every Garrote with spell damage as the next card, maybe you get another 2 mana Garrote that you can play like in very, very specific orders. This could be lethal, but it's astronomically slim.
Yeah. He can't play the other Contact. He has no mana to do the rest of it. It has to be Foxy into Miracle here. Maybe Secret Passage. Okay, Wand Thief is free.
Damage, I don't think matters. Fire Sale, you can trade.
Lingaroo. There's
Mana's just running out. Yeah, it's all falling apart. He could go for Octobot again, but you're not even reducing anything relevant.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not gonna get there. Blisteringly fast start from Alutemu with the double Rhinos. There's just no way to get over the line there. He didn't even need the second one. Alutemu already up 2-0 as Face Hunter. Is this just the best deck?
I'm telling you, man, especially when you actually know how the interactions work, as Alutemu does. If you can figure that out past the baseline level of competency, I think you're unstoppable, which we clearly are not. But well done by Alutemu. I think that it was a simple game, but a well-played game nonetheless. Playing out his cards on curve, going for the Barrack on 5, Rhinos on 6 as well. Just everything he needed, and GivePLZ going for that 1 big setup turn, I do think was probably correct. It gave him that very slim out of spell damage plus all the Garrotes, or plus all the bleeds to be able to get the win. He didn't get it, which means his 1 remaining chance against the Hunter is his Druid, the nightmare matchup.
Ruh-roh. This is indeed a nightmare because the Druid is doing very little in the early game, and Hunter can just slap them in the face with a couple Volpatingers, buff them up with a Kolek ideally, play a Neophyte or two of them and delete entire turns from the Druid. And GivePLZ's build is not helping him in particular. He has this tech card of the Yogg Saron, which I'm not sure which particular matchup it's in there to help. Maybe Mirrors, just having one I win effect if everything goes completely wrong, but there will never be time to play that, I think, in this matchup. GivePLZ truly needs an actual miracle here, and I think it's going to come in the form of, first of all, Alutemu getting a slow start, and second of all, GivePLZ hitting early Heart of Cthulhu, maybe?
Yeah, early Heart of Cthulhu, or, you know, theoretically, the traditional game plan does still work in this matchup of just playing the Celestial Alignment and then popping off afterwards. But Alutemu knows what's up. This isn't a bad hand. This isn't a mediocre hand. This is the nuts hand.
He's just had Initiate on 1-3 games in a row. One of those games he had both Initiates.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we are insta playing that and then coining out a Volpertinger, I think. I don't really care if you're going to float some mana the next turn.
Sure.
It's fine.
Let me work my magic.
Yeah, you're going to need a response that has an awful lot of health to be able to fight back against this. For example, Bloom Luna Best in Shell, 14 health on turn 2. These turtles are getting the job done.
Oh my gosh, GivePLZ just knew what's up. I wouldn't say this is the traditional game plan, but it's not the Cthulhu game plan. It is a defensive game plan, and it's going to buy him so much time.
Yeah. Yes, he is still completely dead on resources. He needs to hit some card draw, but you are right. If you're going to have any chance in the matchup, it comes from these gorgeous bejeweled turtles.
Yeah. And for Alutemu, knowing that GivePLZ has 0 mana the next turn, I would favor getting the Mancrick online this turn because it's quite awkward for I mean, he has to take 3 health off of both the turtles to clear that, and if he doesn't clear it, then Alutemu can buff the Mancrick with the Adorable Infestation, which I feel is very beneficial. It means it can take down one of the turtles in 2 hits rather than 3.
It's got to be stated as well is that the Cthulhu comes in the place. Oh, no, sorry, the Yogg Saron comes in the place of one of these turtles. He's only running one Best in Shell in the list. So this was a very unlikely start to the game for GivePLZ. But as we were saying, a crucial one to be able to keep up. But given that he didn't trade here, instead opting to go all face, as I think was fairly reasonable, double Infestation makes this Mancrick a real terror.
Yeah, 5 attack. Unfortunately, even with Demon Companion landing Kolek, it's not a clear on 1 turtle, but if it hits Refa, he can immediately clear 1 turtle, which I think is super worth it. Just get rid of mitigate GivePLZ's trading power, because yes, you will still be able to take VTs with 1 turtle, but it means you're still able to stick one of those Marsols. So Alutemu is just going to see what's in the Companion first. I think that's reasonable. The Shima is also a relatively good outcome, I would say, to try and protect one of these smaller minions.
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering if you actually just go super wide on this turn with Volpertinger. And then, you know, as you said, it's nice to get the Refa to be able to clear immediately, but they can only clear 2-3 maximum of these minions off the board, right? And then next turn Refa does, or Kolek becomes pretty powerful with a slightly wider board. So I do just about prefer the Volpertinger here.
That's true. No matter what breakpoint happens here, there will be good trades available to Alutemu as long as the Mancrick sticks around, but the Feral Rage for GivePLZ is pretty clutch here. 2 minions, still not the worst to get a Demon Companion down on, but the thing is the the attack buff is not actually relevant on these health breakpoints. Barracuda Bane though. Okay, I guess just play the other cubs. It is an actual infestation of adorableness right now.
True. And then some 5-faced monstrosity affront to God on the right.
That's kind of cute. Like Flesh Giant, you know?
Sure. I love that trunk coming out of Flesh Giant's face. It's so cute.
I do think Alutemu should take this trade, though.
Yes.
I mean, the turtle just dies into Shima if you do that. There's no health buffing effects that are in the base deck for GivePLZ.
Yeah, it's Eye of Cthulhu is the punish for not trading, right, I guess?
Yes,
which is
I think
very
so.
specific, but fair enough.
Yeah. Well, no clear on the other one. Alutemu, hands together in prayer. Is he hoping for a Rhino top deck here? That would be pretty good.
I think he's hoping for Wife on the 3-cost spell. It's a 1 in 3 with double aim shot, but it looks like he may have hit it.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, there it is.
How is this falling apart? GivePLZ had an amazing start, but he's not out of it. He's got time, right? Because while the Mankirk's Wife is obviously annoying, it's 3 damage in one turn, 6 damage in the next turn. Aim shot is technically 7 damage in one turn.
Yeah.
So he needs a miracle in short.
And this is the GivePLZ we know, right? He plays well, he's a phenomenal player, and usually is able to keep his mental game in check, but he feels these losses, and he makes sure you know about it as well. Not afraid to emote when he's feeling unlucky. Yogg-Saron off the top. If he could buy himself one more turn, he may, through some combination, be able to activate it. But that is not going to be the case. Alutemu 3-0 sweep with the Face Hunter straight through to the finals. Quick as you please. How long even was that series? That was 20 minutes, I'm going to say, if that. Like, lightning fast.
Just don't let Alutemu play on Friday. If you do, you release his final form, which allows him to sleep on Saturday and Sunday. It's terrifying, Daruk. I've never seen the likes of this. On Face Hunter, too, we've seen it from Trahizon, but for Alutemu to sweep on 2 different days in one weekend, he just seems completely unstoppable. I don't think you should be banning this deck as GivePLZ. I think it's fine that he left it up, but maybe you do have to run Quest Shaman as a hard counter. I don't know. I feel like Rogue is still a good counter, but not getting the Octobot early enough. Maybe we do have to respect Hunter a little bit more, Derek.
Maybe. And with his previous in-game name being Machamp, I'm almost expecting 2 more arms to sprout out of his back at this point with the amount of power that he is demonstrating having played on Friday.